Tell the story about how technology made us stupid in New York.
Oh, I feel like I'm telling like a lot of stories in a row here. I've been gone for a while.
You've been gone for a while. You got a lot of stories built up.
So I went out to New York. The first part of my trip to New York, I was out there from like Tuesday to Friday morning, and I was there to support Gavin and Dan and be part of this. Like, you didn't talk about this before?
No.
YouTube did a really cool thing where they invited like their top 100 channels out to New York, and we had like a summit. So it was like everybody was there. Tyler Oakley, Grace Helbig, Hannah Hart.
I could hear the teenage hearts.
We did a big old selfie.
A bunch of vloggers. Tom Scott. I finally got to meet Tom Scott. That was awesome. Markiplier was there.
Love that guy.
And we were all like in one room and all had lunch together. Like this huge like summit. Like Harley from Epic Mealtime. Like if you can picture it, probably they were there. Like Freddie Wong wasn't there because he was obligated to a Hulu thing. I didn't see Toby Turner there. Anyway, a bunch of people were there. Enough said. Gavin and Dan were one of those groups. And Gavin and Dan had a specific job that they had to do where they selected 4 of those 100 people to have fan meetups in this massive big fan meetup. And the Slow-Mo guys was one of them. Then it was Tyler Oakley as well, the Dude Perfect guys. And then I'm not familiar with her, I apologize, but Superwoman? Was that the fourth?
Superwoman?
Superwoman, yeah. I'm probably not in her target audience. Just not after,
I only know her name.
40-year-old dudes. Maybe she is, I don't know. So I was just trying to make things easier on Gavin Dan. So I was like, they had to sign these shirts, and then they have silver Sharpies. We've all been to conventions. We know that one of the most precious resources in the world is fucking silver Sharpies.
Because signing black on a black shirt is a no-no.
Yeah.
It doesn't work.
And we have a lot of black shirts.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we had to find silver Sharpies in downtown Manhattan. And we walked 18 blocks? How far did we walk?
Well, we went to a CVS, didn't have him.
We went to a
We went
Dwayne
to
Reedy?
a different pharmacy, didn't have him.
Yep.
Had every other color Sharpie except silver. So then
Yep.
we had to go way far to a Staples.
We probably walked like 18, 20 blocks.
Yeah, silver is a hard color to find for
Yeah,
some reason.
they're a
Yeah.
precious resource, man. And when we do, this is what we did. We finally got to a Staples plug, and we went. That wasn't a plug, by the way. It was just a plug. We went downstairs where because in Manhattan all the stores are laid out so weird because they're in these super old buildings. And I found a pack of silver Sharpies. Gab grabbed one as well, and then Dan decided to grab like ones with a copper, like a multi-pack as well, which becomes important because we go upstairs, we all throw them on the counter, and then I see, it have ApplePay at the counter. So I'm gonna press Dan and Gav, and I'm like, check this out, beep. And
And I was like, oh, I've never seen Apple Pay used before.
and I go, here it is. That's from my thumbprint. I hit the thumbprint. They're like, wow, that's
And then
cool.
I was like, that's dumb. And because he printed a receipt and gave it to you to sign, I was like, you still have to sign with Apple Pay? What's the point of the thumbprint?
and then they're like, I felt so good about myself because they were so impressed by it. Then I have to sign for it. And Gav and Dan are like, why do you have to sign? That
Take
ruins the
longer
whole thing. And I was like, no, it doesn't. They're like, yes, it does. I was like, fuck you guys. And then so we get everything. We go, we leave. I put my wallet back in my pocket. We walked 18 blocks back to the hotel. And I'm like feeling all, like, fuck you guys in this thing. So we get in the fucking lobby. And I say to Dan and Gav, I said, just sign your shirts. And then we'll go to the event, and we'll do this.
And I was in a different block of the hotel, so I left both of you because you're in the same block and I was in a different one. So I was like, I'm going to have a shower. See you later.
And I said, so just, sign the shirts. And Dan goes, okay, I need the pens. And I go, well, I don't have them. Gav has the pens. And he goes, oh, okay. So Dan goes up to where Gav is and goes in the hotel. And he goes to Gav, he goes, I need the pens. Gav goes, I don't have the fucking pens. We were arguing about Apple Pay. We just left our pens
Oh my God.
on the fucking counter 20 blocks away. And what I do, I had to walk all the way.
That's not on you.
there.
That's
Why
on
did you
them.
have to do it?
What? No, I mean, I was one of the idiots that left it too.
You don't need them. Fuck those guys.
I refuse to believe that you didn't have the pens. Like, why wouldn't you have the pens? You paid for them.
Why wouldn't you have the pens? You needed them.
It's because we all had an individual pack of pens, so it wasn't like on one person.
The
We
problem was
walked all the way back, and none of us noticed that neither of us had the pens. We just walked.
walked
The saving
entirely
grace,
back.
the best part of the story. Please tell me you needed the signed receipt to show them to prove you had bought all that stuff.
That would have been great. What happened was I walked into Staples. The guy looks up and he goes, "Here you go, man." It's like he just doesn't want to grab the pens.
And it was
How
super
did you?
hot.
I assume none of you had bags on you. Maybe you had like a shoulder bag.
Nah,
Or nothing.
we had nothing.
So nobody noticed that no one
That's
was
what I'm
carrying a
saying.
plastic bag
And
full
we
of
got-
Sharpies.
we were
it
that
wasn't-
big of idiots.
It wasn't like we were strolling up to the hotel and then realized like we're back and it's like I need these things. I went all the way up and had a shower. They went to their individual rooms and we still didn't notice that no one had the pens.
Also, Barbara, I got to point out,
hours
it's
to pass.
why we went out.